We all want to cater to the different types of abilities within our classroom, but it feels overwhelming. Think about it. You're a teacher, you've got 25 children in front of you, and then we're told, oh, to differentiated teaching, allow them each, cater for each of their different needs. We don't have to overcomplicate it, but it is doable. My method, FlexiLearn Method, which I will get into more details in other episodes, really is a flexible and simple and practical approach to helping each child learn at a rate they need to, while facing the reality that we have to also teach general concepts at our level, because we do have a curriculum, we do have a syllabus that we have to cover, but we are not curriculum teachers. We are teachers of individuals with different needs and abilities. So let's be realistic here. How can we really improve a classroom in a way to cater for each child's learning levels, learning rates, different rates of movement? It's doable. And it takes little tweaks. In truth, to improve a classroom does not require some big, elaborate, expensive procedure, big major overhaul of resources and environment. And we're not going to get it. There's just not enough money in education thrown to us to do these big, major, beautiful changes that we have in our dreams and imaginations as teachers. So let's be realistic here. Change can happen if we do small, realistic, practical, consistent changes, both in our approach, our classroom arrangements, right with the resources we have at our fingertips. So, what are some things we can do? The suggestions I'm going to give you, small tweaks, are things that you probably know already. But if we do it in a more targeted, intentional way, then we'll see major differences. Now, we don't have to implement all these changes immediately. Some you might already do. But the more of the tweaks and changes we make, the more we're going to be on that way to helping our children improve and making sure that each child is catered for. So, in today's session, I'm just going to show you a few tweaks we can make to be on that road to make sure we cater to all the different rates of learning within our classroom. First thing that we can look at, bear with me, is the seating arrangement. We have to have flexible groupings, allow for group seating, not all the tables facing the blackboard, that's not it. Group seating, but flexible seating. Sometimes they're arranged in groups. Children can move about, move different seating. If we have space, let them even sit on the floor. Yeah. Have some mats, some cushions. It's okay. They can even write on the floor. It's not just for sitting down to read stories. They can play with their blocks, write, draw, colour, do their tasks right on the floor if space allows and if it's appropriate at the time. So we have flexible seating, fluid seating, but group seating is very important. Why? Because that allows for interaction. I'll get into each of those factors in subsequent episodes as to the value of varying our seating. Another thing that we can do to allow for independent learning is for independent practice. Teachers should carefully select worksheets, pages in their textbooks, activities catering to each child's individual need. That means you have to know your students. You do. You have to know the needs of each child. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go searching for material. The material might be right there in their textbooks, but some children are ready to move on to other activities within their textbooks. Let them. Mark off where they have to go. Some children might have missed school and therefore need to do a sheet or a page in their textbook that others have finished already. Mark off what each child needs. Now, you know the different individual work they have to cover: math, language skills, write a story, do some practice grammar activities. You mark off the work for the child's day. Give them the time in the day for their individual practice. This leads to another factor, student autonomy. We have marked off the work that the children need to do for the day, and they know what they need to cover for the day. But you allow them that freedom to select what they want to do, when they want to do it. So yes, student autonomy is a must. But They select. You see, the value of student autonomy is that if they have ownership to the work because they think they've selected what they want to do, so allow it. Another factor to allow for individual learning is movement. Related a bit to the seating, children should be allowed to move, walk, stretch their legs. It's okay. If they do a bit of work, then walk across to another classmate. What are you doing? It's okay. Let them talk, interact, and then get back to their work. They can decide if they write their story in one section, a writing corner even, or a table where they have your charts with all their ideas for stories. And then when they finish that, they're allowed to go and sit in the library corner to read a book and then even do some math on the floor. Let them move. It's okay, and let them interact. So classroom movement should be allowed. Another thing is classroom talk. Often in the traditional classroom, the teacher's voice is heard the most. Children should be allowed to talk, interact. The lesson should be discussion driven. And so we're not hearing the teacher's voice most of the time, but we're actually allowing children to talk, interact with us, with each other. Classroom talk must vary. Also the roving. Teachers need to rove, not just stay at the desk and students come to them, but in a FlexiLearn classroom, the teacher gets up, pencil in hand, pen in hand, and roves and interacts with the children. That allows more one-on-one interaction with each child as you rove and monitor and give immediate feedback also. The length of the lessons you do, because you do have to teach your concept lessons, need to be shorter. I call them mini lessons. Again, I'll explore this topic a bit more at subsequent episodes, but mini lessons. So you teach your concepts, but within shorter periods of time. And this allows more time for independent individual work when we lesson our lessons. And finally, another tweak that we can do is checklists for progress. So students are checked with clear skill-based checklists rather than reducing the need for formal testing. So these are just some tweaks you can do in a classroom. Some you may do already, but more you can implement. The more of them you implement, the more flexible our teaching goes, and the more we allow our children to move at their individual rate of learning. As I said, I will share more details of all of these aspects, including what FlexiLearn is on a whole, in subsequent episodes. But in order to implement these and other factors, we need to shift in our mindset. The mindset presented in the education systems can be quite rigid and not fluid enough within themselves and not child-centered enough. So, what are some common unhelpful ways of thinking that we need to shift away from? What type of mindset do we need that we might unintentionally be doing that is affecting our teaching? In the next episode, I will discuss the shift in the mindset, the unhelpful thinking that we think might be actually good and practical to our teaching of young learners, but might actually be hindering the progress of these children and restricting our ability as educators and just making our lives hard. We want to enjoy the process because teaching children is fun. So we'll discuss the shift in the mindset that we need to do in the next episode. Happy teaching!